Hello and welcome to tonight's webinar. Once again, I am your host, Sterling McKinley, and this webinar is presented by the U.S. Black Chambers and also the good folks at Google. So, once again, thank you for taking time out your busy day and your busy schedule to be here with us. I really appreciate that. We're all busy, have things to do, but we have an hour tonight, and I want to make this hour as informative as possible. So I'm going to give you information, how to's, but also I want you to tune in. I want to hear your questions and your comments. So at any time throughout tonight's webinar, feel free to type in the chat box your questions, and I'll be sure to answer those questions. So tonight we're talking about a topic that I am very, very passionate about. And over the last 2 months now, we've talked about everything. We talked about digital marketing, social media marketing, um, web design, all that stuff. But tonight, we're talking about a topic I think that is the cheat code. If you watch Avengers, the movie Avengers, this is the Infinity Stone. This one thing can take your professional life, your career, your business to the next level. And that one thing is personal branding. Now, I'm sure you heard that term online, you heard it on social media and so on, but personal branding is so key. I won't get too much into it yet because I want to talk about it later, but tonight we're talking about personal branding. We're going to define personal branding and give ways and strategies of how you can build your personal brand. So, as always, let me check in with you and see how you're doing. Give me 1 second. Let me fix my screen here. Um, Give me 1 second. Let's get this set up. So as always, I love to check in with you all and make sure that you're all active because once again, the best workshops, webinars are the ones that have the most interaction. So definitely want to make sure that you all are active on today's webinar. So to start off, as always, I ask a question and I want you to give a response. So here it is. If you are ready to learn more about personal branding, type in different. Once again, if you are ready to learn more about personal branding, type in different. So I'll give you a few seconds to type that in and I'll read some of your responses. But once again, if you're ready to learn about social media and learn about personal branding, type in different. Okay, we have a few people here. Different. I appreciate it. Anybody else want to chime in? Tracy, thanks for joining us again. Tracy is a long time fan or follower, so appreciate that. Um, yes, different. And, you know, that's the reason I say different because in today's world, whether that's offline or online, being different is so important. And it goes back to what I always say, visibility. The world right now is so crowded. On TV, there's a million channels, there's streaming services, there's DVDs, people still watch those. Um, there's commercials everywhere. When you get online, every four posts, you see a commercial, your email commercials. The other day I checked my mail and all the mail was just coupons in a sense. So we are inundated, we are overstimulated with advertisers constantly saying, hey, buy this, hey, buy that, sell today. So as consumers, what happened is we block that out. We are beginning to block out advertisements. Why? Because we're just tired of being sold. So that's why being different is so important because in this environment, in this economy, the only way that you're going to survive, you're going to thrive and stand out is to be different. So I'll give you one example. The suit I have on right now is different. This is not something I would normally buy, but I saw it online a few weeks ago. And I said, you know what? I need that jacket. I need that polka dot jacket. So if you like my jacket, type in yes. If you hate my jacket, type in no. So once again, if you like my jacket, type in yes. If you hate my jacket, type in yes. Tracy, appreciate that. Yes. Okay. Anybody else like my jacket? Hate my jacket? Let me know. So I didn't go full blast. I only bought the jacket. I didn't buy the pants because wearing a jacket and pants polka dot was too much. So I didn't do it. Marcus, appreciate it. Yes. So let me explain to you why I bought this jacket. So before Corona came last year, I was traveling around the world, around the country, speaking on stages to audience members. And I would sit in the audience and I would watch other speakers before I got on the stage, and every speaker was boring. One, they didn't make jokes, they weren't engaging, they just read slides. I said, I don't want to be like that. I want to be, I want to stand out. I want to do something so when people leave that speech, that webinar, that training, say, wow, I remember that guy. He was engaging, he was thoughtful and impactful. You know what? I'm gonna, book him again. I'm gonna buy his book. I'm gonna watch his video. And that's what I mean too. In this jacket, most speakers are boring. They wear black jackets, blue jackets, gray jackets, maybe brown the most. I said, I don't want to be those type of people. I don't want to blend in. I have to be different. I have to stand out. And I'll tell the story more later, but that has helped my career so much. Personal branding, just standing out and just being different. Because once again, this world is just crowded, it's so busy. The only way you're going to survive is to have visibility. So that is so important. So let me find out from you, what is something about you that's different? Type in the comments. What's something about you that makes your business or makes you different that you can use to stand out? So type in quickly what makes you different. That can be your hair, that can be eyeglasses, that can be clothes. What makes you different? What makes you different? Like I said, it can be anything, but I think it's so key to identify that one thing that makes you different because if you think about it, being the same to me is boring. You have to be you different and stand out. And also consumers, they want brands, they want companies, they want people that are different. They're tired of everybody being the same, having the same sell. They want people to stand out. And when you stand out, people are drawn to you naturally. So whether that's your clothing, the way you speak, I see a few people here. Says my diction. Okay, that's good. You speak well. That's always good. Someone else said their hair, personality. Yeah, all those things you can use to stand out and to be different. Because once again, this people are so fast, things are so busy, they're only going to stop and look at things that are captivating. So you want to make sure that you are captivating because once again, that's how you're going to get more people to engage your business by just being different. So tonight's agenda, pretty simple. First, we're gonna do personal branding 101. In this section, I'm really going to define what is personal branding and how can you use it to grow your career or your business. Next, I'm going to break down how to build a personal brand. So I have 7 steps that I've used to help them build my personal brand. And tonight, I want to share those tips with you. All right, let's move on here. So I got a question for you. I want you to quickly type in the chat box, what is personal branding and why is it important? Once again, question for you. I want you to type this in the chat box. I want you to tell me what is personal branding and why it is so important to your business. Once again, what is personal branding and why is it so important to your business? And I'm asking that because I think it's really key because we all know we need to brand ourselves better. We all know we need to be out there more, but I think when you understand the power in what is personal branding, you'll spend more time investing in that and make sure that you have a strong personal brand. We have a comment here. It says, what makes our creative agency different is our purpose. We cherish Black voices and Black culture. Our goal is to be the bridge between small businesses trying to connect with Black consumers. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely what makes you different. Anybody else want to share what is personal branding and why is it important? Anyone else? And this is very key. Once again, I think when we all have a firm understanding of what it is and why it's so important, you immediately begin putting more time and effort into building a personal brand. Tracy has a comment. She says, "It's your unique business signature. It draws people, customers to you." Yeah, you got it. That's it. Is what makes you different. When somebody does a search online on Google for a business, they're looking for a company that's different, that stands out, that offers something that somebody else doesn't offer. So once again, that's why it's so important. It draws in people, it draws in customers. And that's why it's so important because, like I said before, this world is so busy now. You have to be constantly drawing people in. And the only way to do that is by having a very strong personal brand and image. Coming here, it says, what sets your service apart from other services in the industry is important because you identify unique. Yeah, you said it. That's it. It sets you apart from everybody else. You have to stand out. You have to be unique. You have to be different. So that's great. Um, one more comment here. It's how you project yourself to those around you, what sets you apart from everyone else. Yeah, you got it. That is personal branding in a nutshell. And that's why some of the reasons it's so important. So let me give you the textbook definition. So personal branding is positioning yourself as an authority in your industry. It elevates your credibility and it makes you different from the competition. So once again, that's pretty much the same thing that everyone said here, but I want to key on one thing I have in that definition. It makes you an authority in your industry, and that's the point that's so key right now. You don't want to be somebody that's general, somebody like everybody. Once you have personal brand, whether that's speaking, whether that's teaching or writing, whatever you do, people will see you as an authority figure. And once again, when people see you as an authority, they're drawn to you. I'll tell you firsthand. Since I've been speaking now for the last 10 years and I've been getting better and better, I've been writing books and talking like this, doing training webinars, standing on stages. People view me as an authority. And the beauty of that is now I still have to work to get business, but so much of my business income comes from referrals. People that see me in the media and the news, that see me on webinars, say, "Hey, I want to work with that guy." So that's the power of personal branding. It draws the people to you. So in a sense, it changes the equation. You're not chasing customers so much, but customers are chasing you. Why? Because they see you as an authority. And people want to work with the best in the industry. They want to work with a boutique service. So people are tired of Walmart and Target, big box stores that sell everything. That's fine, but people want a boutique service. They want a person that's specialized, that's knowledgeable about what they do. And that's the person they're going to spend their money with. And it goes back also to being knowledgeable because once again, it's all about building trust. So the more that I trust you, the more that I see you teaching and writing and talking about whatever your industry is, the more I trust you. So if you do hair, talk about hair, write about hair, the hair types, the hair colorings. If you have a restaurant, talk about your dishes, talk about cooking, talk about buying food, talk about those things that interest your user base. So become an authority in whatever you're doing. And that's how you really stand out, by becoming an authority, not just another person, but becoming a leader in your field. And you can do that by simply just talking about what you do over and over again. And people are going to see you as a specialist, as an authority, and they're going to come to you. So that's why personal branding is so key. Like I said before, it really is the card. It really is the hack to take your business, your brand, your life to the next level. Is personal branding because once again, it draws people in, and that's why it is so important. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next section, how to build a personal brand. But before I do that, I want you to do this. Rate me 1 to 5. So if I'm doing a great job, type 5. If I'm doing a social job, type in 1. So once again, if I'm doing a great job, type in five. If I'm doing an okay job, just type in one. I just want to check in. I want to see how you perceive me. If I have a strong personal brand, Karen, five. Appreciate that. Anybody else want to chime in? If I'm doing great, type in five. Okay, type in one. Hey, Tracy, got a six. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Got another five. Got two hand claps. Appreciate that as always. So before I move on, I want to do something real quick. Not to brag or boast or promote myself, but I spent I spent so much time the last, I would say, 5 years or so, really honing on crafting my personal brand. And I've been in business now for a total of 15 years. And I mean, I struggled for so many years, but the moment that I identified my audience and what I offer, and I worked on getting high quality pictures and videos and speaking more, my business just took off. So once again, I think it's really that cheat code. So what I'm going to do real quickly, kind of show you my personal brand online. So if you were to go to Google and just type in Sterling McKinley, here we go. Let me zoom in for you a little bit so you can see that. And this is one of the things I think is so important. Oh, thank you. Marcus says, if you give me that jacket, I'll give you a five. Sorry, only got one. But thank you. So let me show you this. Let me zoom in again here on Google. So we live in a world now that is highly digital. So once again, I think it's important to have a personal brand offline in real life as well, but also to have a strong personal brand because the chances are now the first interaction somebody has with you is going to be online. It's not going to be by meeting you in person, especially now in this new world of COVID and this post-pandemic world that we're still in. Virtual is going to be key. So video, websites, pictures are going to be key now. So that's why you need to really hold on having a strong digital brand because that's the way that people initially are going to find out about you. So when you see me at a conference, when you see me speaking, you see me in a webinar, what do? You type in my name, and my name is Sterling McKinley. It's my name. So what do you see? First, when you Google, you see my website, you see me on Twitter, you see review from my company, you see me on LinkedIn, you see me on Facebook, you see me speaking, you see my book here on Amazon, my YouTube channel, you see videos of me speaking as well. And also you see me on Instagram. So the entire first page of Google is all being. And that took a while. Doesn't happen overnight. But what I'm saying is you have to be very intentional about being seen online. So all of these past webinars, I've been talking about that. I've been talking about being on Facebook, being on YouTube, being on Twitter, LinkedIn, having your own personal website. All those strategies and those tips are ways that you can rank better on Google. So when somebody Googles your name or goes your business, all people are seeing is you again and again. And they say, wow, this person's there from 1 to 10, all their listings. Let me click on the link. Let me see what that guy, what let me see what that person is talking about. So once again, that's why it's so important. So if you were to go to my website, click on that real quick, and it pops up. Guess what? You can see video of me on stage speaking and talking. So immediately I'm branding. Immediately I'm telling you who I am. I'm the world's most inspirational marketing and branding speaker. I'm that guy you bring in for the wow factor. I'm telling you right away who I am. So in the mind of a meeting planner, in the mind of the customer, once they see this, they say, wow, I want that guy. He looks like he knows what he's doing. I see him speaking. I see him talking with clients. I'm seeing him on TV. Guess what? I want to call that guy. I want to do business with that guy. So that my website, it has logos of companies that I've spoken for, I work with. It has my picture here in the suit. Once again, I'm not boring. I'm wearing suits that stand out. Whether that's polka dot, whether that's window pane, pinstripe, I'm going to stand out. You're going to see me, and you'd be surprised. People now, a little less now because we're all set in, but people will come to me, "Hey, aren't you that guy? I saw you online." I used to wear these suits when I'm a fly for my talks, and in the airport it was crazy. I'm walking to the airport, people saying, "Nice suit, nice suit. Who are you? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do?" Why? Because I'm standing out. So once again, that's why it's so important. So I'll take you through my site real quick. It's all about me speaking. Big pictures of me on stages speaking, me in front of a large crowds on stages speaking again. There's videos of me speaking as well. You can go to that. So what my site is doing, what my online presence is doing, it's giving an overwhelming evidence of, hey, this is the guy that I want to work with. This is the guy that knows what he's doing. So once again, more about me and so on. I have videos here of all my talks. Click on one; it should play in YouTube. You can watch that. You can get a sense of how it is to see me on stage, and that's the powerful thing too. If you can show your customer what they're getting, what they're expecting, that pulls them in because now they see, wow, you know what? I was looking for a speaker, and I saw Sterling speaking on stage. I know he can do it. I was looking for a hairdresser. I saw her online doing hair. Guess what? I want that person to do my hair. I saw that chef cooking. I want him to cook for me. So once again, that is so important to let people see you in your element. Let them see you doing what you do because that's how they're gonna be pulled into to you and your brand. One last thing I'll show you, I'll move on, is reviews. And I was so big on this when the world was open, getting reviews from my audience. So once again, if you have any questions about my service, go to my testimonial page and you'll see review after review. People talking about me speaking, talking about what I do. The videos right here as well. People giving positive stories about me. So once again, I have a overwhelming personal brand. Why? Because I worked at it. Because this is the key, and this is what I learned to unlocking bigger deals, getting paid more. Is people are judging you based off how you look. Now, it's bad in some ways. Yes, that old saying, there's more than a book in its cover. Yeah, true. But for people to pick up that book, it has to be an enticing cover. If you're boring, if you're not dressed well, if you're studying, not if you're stuttering, all this stuff, you're not presenting yourself well, people are not going to be attracted to you. So once I took the time to get professionals headshots and pictures and videos to make sure that my hair was always cut, to wear suits and be different, my income increased three times as much. I won't state any numbers here, but three times as much. Why? Because I'm giving off a different image. And when that happened, I started to attract different customers. The customers that would come to lowball me, they say, you know what? That guy probably costs too much. I'm not gonna work for him. So what happened? I started to get bigger and bigger engagement contracts. Even tonight, this webinar that's being presented by the U.S. Black Chambers and Global Google. I got this because of my personal branding. So when the U.S. Black Chambers were looking for a speaker, they saw my videos on LinkedIn. They saw me on YouTube. They said, okay, we've seen that guy doing it. We trust him enough to have him lead our webinars. Why? Because we saw him doing that. So once again, that's why personal branding is so key. I'll show you one more example real quick. Is LinkedIn. And before I do that, if anybody has a LinkedIn page and you want me to review it and give an audit, just type in your LinkedIn URL in the chat box, and during our next webinar on Thursday, I will do a live audit of your LinkedIn page and tell you what to change. But one more example, if you type in my name, one of the first things you'll see is my LinkedIn page. And once again, you see me in a suit. There's lists where I went to school, lists my profile. You see me posting multiple times for what you see me once again on stages. Uh, you see my experience, whether that's working with U.S. Black Chambers, working with the Department of Defense, my own company, and so on. You see this proof that I'm doing what I say I do. And once again, that's what's really run your customer over. I don't care if you're a business to business, business to consumer, you're selling food, whatever. If people can see you more and more, they're gonna trust you. So I've been talking a lot. I got a little passionate there. um, let me get back on track real quick. Um, so let's see. Somebody was asking about my suits. Let's see. Um, it was a Marcus. What size is the jacket? You dress like you're from Detroit. No, I'm not from Detroit, but thank you. It's a 42 large, but I'm not from Detroit. But thank you. um, let's see. What else? Another question. Somebody says, what is your SEO?" I'm not sure what you mean exactly, but my website, I use WordPress. I use several tools that help me with my SEO. Um, but one thing you can do is make sure you have your company name and your personal name online many times. That's one way that people can find you. Another question here, it says, do you know if it is possible yet to link your Google review or Google My Business info to your website aside from just a URL link? I'm not sure what you mean, but from what I know now, if you go to Google My Business and click on any tab, it will send you to a website. So I'm not sure about that. Um, but on that, I'll give you one tip, and I'll move on. One thing that I asking everybody to do after this webinar is you want to own your name as a domain name. So you saw my site. It was sterlingmckilling.com. I bought that about 10 years ago. It sat dormant for years, and recently I began using it. So you need to own your presence before somebody else does. So do this. Do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. Go to GoDaddy.com. Type in right here your name as a domain name and hit search domains. Hopefully your name is available. You can buy your name for as little as 99 cents. You can buy your domain name on GoDaddy. That's one of the first steps of owning your personal brand online. Is going to GoDaddy and buying your name as a domain name. That way, when somebody always searches you on Google, if you own your name as a domain name, that could be one of the first things that comes up. So own your name as a domain name. Also, you can go to GoDaddy.com, or you can go to one more site is domains.google. It may cost a little more, I think about $12, but the first step, buy your name as a domain name. Even if you don't use it now, still just buy it and keep it. Because once again, you need to own your name. So one of the first ways to do that, easiest ways, is by owning your name as a domain name. So that's going to be key for you. That's an easy tip to start you down your journey of personal branding. Thank you, Marcus and Karen, for sharing your websites. I'll be sure to check those out after the webinar and give my feedback to you. But be sure to join me on Thursday at 5 again, because I'll be reviewing personal brands then. Got a question here. It says, hello, can you advise what is the best way to link your um, Google Guide account to your business account or business page as assists with the branding authority for your business? Oof, I'm not sure what you're asking me. But let's do this. Let me give you my email address. I'll type that right now in the chat box. And what you can do is email me your question in more detail. I'll take a look at it. Also, send me your question and also the link to your Google page, and I'll look into it and give you a customized response. But thank you for your question. Check the chat box now for my email address. Yeah, Tracy says my reviews are linked to my website. Yeah, that's good. Definitely want to have that. Yeah, I saw that link you had on your website the other day. Someone said your actual name and your business name. You can do both. Drop in your business name and your personal brand, and I'll get both. Look at both of those. All right, let's get back to the slides now. We got about a half hour to go, so let me stop preaching and get back on track. All right, so now I want to how to build a brand, and I give you some tips already, but I'll get more into how to build a brand in a second. Um, Comment here. Somebody said the reviews are on Facebook, Google, and Trustpilot. Yeah, that's great. Reviews are great. So, Facebook, LinkedIn, Google, Yelp reviews always help because once again, if people can see that you've done a good job, a good service, in their mind, they can say, "Okay, I trust that person more. Let me give them a call or send them an email and try them out." So, we definitely want to have more of that. See, Karen says, I do have a testimonials on my website. Not sure how add not sure to add links on those. Yeah. Once again, not sure what you're saying, but once again, my email address is in the chat box. Let me copy it again. Well, it's s@sterlingmckinley.com. Once again, send me your detailed question, your question, and also the link to your page, and I'll give you a kind of a personal response. But thank you for your question. Great. Let's get back to the slides here. So let's do this. If you had to rate your personal brand from 5 to 0, what would it be? So when somebody types in your name online, when they hear about you, is it a good thing? So if you have an awesome personal brand, type in 5. If you need help, if you need some milk, type in 0. So once again, if you have an awesome personal brand, um, type in the number 5. If you need some help, type in 1. So I'm gonna see how would you rate your personal brand? Awesome, type in 5. Wow, whoa, stop the webinar. Somebody typed in 0. Okay, we gotta change that. Once again, you're missing out on so many opportunities by having a weak personal brand. So definitely this webinar, when it's done, if I were you, if you're on YouTube or LinkedIn or YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook, watch this again and take some of those tips. One of the first things you can do is go to Google, go to GoDaddy, I'm sorry, for 99 cents, buy your name as domain name. And you've already taken a big step by doing that. So we definitely have to get you above a 0. Somebody else says 5. Okay. 3. Okay. It's not bad. You're halfway there. The other one says 5. And thankfully, I'm just not huffing me up. Okay. I'll take your word for that. Number 3. Karen, you're a 1. Wow. Sorry to hear that. So once again, be sure to ask any questions and replay this webinar to get more tips on improving your personal brand. Somebody else says 3. Okay, that's good. All right, so thank you for that feedback. Yeah, I think one of the first places to start is doing a survey of where you stand. So being honest with yourself, how good is your personal brand, and then making a plan to get better. But also the thing personal branding to think about is just not how you see yourself, but it's how your consumers, your potential consumers see you as well. So Once again, people view me now a certain way. Why? Because I strategically I built that perception over time. So you'll be surprised. People will see me in the store. I've gone to family cookouts, reunions, and people say, "Wow, you're not wearing a suit." Every time I see you wearing a suit, and why? Because I set that thought in their head. I don't wear suits all the time. I do wear suits a lot, but not all the time. I don't wear suits to bed. I don't wear suits to work out. But once again, people think that. Why? Because every time you see me online, I'm going to be wearing a suit. I don't care. Every single time. So I'm setting that expectation in their head. So your personal brand, yes, it is personal, but it's really about how the larger economy, customer base views you, views your brand, views your business, and views your service. So keep that in mind. Your personal brand is not just about what you think, but it's really about what your customers think about you. And that goes back to the definition of branding. So I wrote a book last year, and it was called Binge Worthy Branding, how companies like Starbucks, Amazon, and Netflix are standing out. Binge worthy branding. And that book was all about today, what we're talking about. We're in this world where you have to stand out. And the companies, the people that are winning, they're standing out. They have strong brands and personal brands. So that's so key. So you think about Starbucks. That's a strong brand. The smell, the baristas, the wearing green. When you come into a Starbucks, you know what to expect. When you go shopping on Google, you know what to expect. They're setting the expectation in your mind, and you have to do the same thing for your company, the same thing for yourself, because having that strong personal brand is what's going to make you stand out. And once again, it's also really about your customer, how they perceive you. That's why companies spend so much money on advertising. Why? Because they want to affect the way that you see them. The truth is, there are no luxury brands. That might sound crazy, but people pay more for brands, for bags, for cars sometimes. That's because of the thought, what you think about it. Now, yes, there are cheap products and good products, but there's a certain level where, a car is a car, a shirt is a shirt, but you pay more for that shirt. Why? Because it has a strong brand behind it. So once again, people are going to pay more for your service if you look the part, if you sound the part, if you're professional, you have a strong brand. So once again, that's why it's so important. Personal branding is going to set you apart. People are going to see you as a leader. They're going to attach value to you, and they're going to pay you more money. So if that's not a reason to work on your personal brand, I don't know what is. So if you want to increase your income, increase your personal brand. A few comments here, and I apologize again. I started preaching again. I got to stop preaching. Let me stay on target here. So somebody says, my customers believe I'm awesome. I'm just getting known and I'm working on it. Yeah, that's great, Karen. Keep doing that. You want to make sure your customers have a good thought of you, because that's what it's all about, how the market is perceiving you. So keep on doing that. Another comment here. One of my favorite brands is Nike. They hit the nail every time with branding. Yeah. Um, Nike is a great company. I'll tell a quick story and move on. Nike, they win because they tell great stories, and they tell stories that relate to their end customers. So they're telling you to be like Mike. They're telling you to be like LeBron and KD and Kyrie Irving and all these people. You never will be, but they're telling you about that because they have strong visuals. Nike, Apple, companies like that, they always look slick, nice commercial, nice music, and that once again that builds something in your head and your mind. And I'll say this too about Nike. Nike is nothing. Nike is a regular shoe company, and this is something too that's really going to bring home personal branding. Nike is what it is because of the athletes. I'll say it again. Nike is what it is because of the athletes. Nike is nothing. They signed Michael Jordan. People saw the way Michael Jordan played, he talked, he moved, and they said, "Wow, I want to be like Mike." And now they buy Nikes still to this day. They buy Nikes because LeBron, because KD. If Nike lost all the athletes today, they would be nothing. So even companies realize that to have a strong company, yes, you can still brand it the company, but you have to attach personality. You have to attach humanity to your brand because people are not necessarily buying brands, they're buying people. That's why Nike's winning because they use athletes. They paid them millions of dollars. LeBron James $1 billion. Why? Because if we use LeBron James, he can take Nike. He can make Nike human. Jordan makes Nike human, and that's why people will buy it. People aren't buying Nikes; they're buying LeBrons. They're buying Jordans in a sense. So once again, Nike is a great example of the power of personal branding because once again, they use athletes. They're using athletes to promote their products and services. Why? Because those athletes are relatable. They have stories. They have challenges. Companies are boring. Nobody cares about companies. People care about personalities. Companies are not, making sales. It's the people behind those companies. So I promise now, I'm done preaching. All right, back to the slides. We have about 17 minutes left. So here we go. So the first step in building a personal brand, you want to figure out who you are and what you want to accomplish. That's very important. The first step, who are you? What makes you different? And why are you doing it? Why do you want to be seen as a authority? That's the first step of figuring out who you are. And I asked a question earlier, got a few responses. What makes you different? Somebody said their nails, the way they talk, um, the way they speak. Those are good starts. But figure out who you are and what you want to accomplish. So myself, I was a struggling website designer. I sat behind a computer all day just typing information. And it got to the point and say, you know what? If I want to go to the next level, something has to change. Why? Because everybody's on websites. So I said, you know what? I'm going to speak. And I'm going to speak to reach more people, more customers and clients. So I'm the point now where I don't design websites anymore. I don't. I talk about marketing. Why? Because I figured out who I was. I was more than a website designer, way more than that. I value that time because I learned a lot, but that time has passed. And what I want to accomplish, I want to be a leader in my field. And it might sound cocky, but I want to be the best digital marketing speaker out here. That's been my goal. You know, there's nobody like me. There's nobody like you. What you bring to your industry, your field, nobody can match that. And once again, it sounds corny and hurtful, but there's only one you. And when you understand that, man, there's no competition. There's no speaker like me. I'm not saying I'm better than all of them. Maybe I am, but there's nobody like me. There's nobody like you. So once again, identify who you are and identify what you want to accomplish. That's the first step of getting started and moving down the way. See, I gotta stop preaching because I'll preach all night. But thank you for that. Okay, we got 15 minutes left. Let's make this work. So moving on to step two. Step two is a little similar, but you want to determine your unique value proposition. And we all heard this before. What makes you unique? So once again, identifying what makes you unique. And not only unique, but why should somebody do business with you? So I'll give you my thing. My thing, if you come to me, you will get relatable, okay? Simple and practical digital marketing advice. Those are my three things: simple, practical, and relatable digital marketing advice. Why? Because I feel like most people now, speakers, are speaking up here. No, me, I'm going to be relatable with you. You got to understand what I'm saying. I'm not going to show up using big words and big terms. No, I'm relatable. Next is I'm actionable. What I'm saying you can really do. Like today, if you want to start your personal brand, go to GoDaddy.com, type in your name as in the main name, and buy your name. I'm giving you concrete steps. So those are the things that make me unique. I simplify digital marketing. I explain it in relatable ways, and I'm actionable. I'm giving you actual concrete steps. And a lot of speakers don't do that. So we have a few minutes left here, but I want you to type in, what is your unique value proposition? What makes you unique from everybody else? And this goes past your hair or how you talk, but what is the thing about your service that makes you unique from the competition? So once again, type that in real quick. We have 14 minutes left. I want to know, what is your unique value proposition? Type that in real quick. Okay, we have somebody here. It says good listener, detail oriented, and excellent problem solver. Yeah, that's great. That's great. One of I think the major things now in this world is people don't listen. So simply listening is a huge advantage because you're going to hear things that other people are not going to hear, and also customers want to be heard. So being a listener is great. Um, Another comment here, it says personality, energy, and I encourage people to channel their inner child at all times. Okay, that's good. That's great. Yeah, you want to have a clear understanding what makes you unique. I did this a few years ago, and I made it really simple. I boiled it down to one word. I said, when you think of Sterling, when I go to bed at night, my mission in life, at the end of the day, outside digital marketing, I am a helper. I like to help people. So whether that's somebody at the grocery store, whether that's my wife or my son, or whether that's you all, I seek to help people. So if you can, boil it down to just one word that describes who you are and what makes you different, and put everything behind that. Once again, I love to help, and helping, I love to teach. So it goes hand in hand. So once again, knowing what makes you different is very important. Kimberly says, being caring and being kind. Yeah, yeah, I love that, because the one thing I'm big on too is my clients. I always send them gifts, and they're like, sorry about that. Too much preaching. I knocked my mic cord out, but I'm back now. um, I forgot what I was saying. Let's read some comments. Um, Comment here says, I do things with passion, interaction with people on a human level. I put myself in the shoes of the person I'm trying to help and speak to them in good tone. Yeah, that's great. I'll read one more and move on. It says, my clients always say consulting with me is like talking to a friend. I love that I feel that I'm comfortable letting them know the real problems. And I love them because I love to help. Yeah, that's great. Tracy said, mic drop. Yeah, yeah, mic drop, definitely. Let me calm down over here. I'm tearing up my set. But yeah, determining what makes you unique is important. And not only that, but what makes you different from other services is very important. I know I'm going to say now, and I'm moving real quick, but being kind and caring is so key. That's something also that I'm naturally a caring person, but I go overboard now. So sending my clients gifts, telling them thank you, just being nice. You'd be surprised how much you can get just being nice and caring. That is also the other hack. Being nice and caring is just, it goes so far. I think too, I've done well in business. Why? Because I care about people. You can trust me. I'm going to make sure that you remember me. I'm going to show people that I value them. I value you all being on this webinar tonight. That's why I prepared so much. That's why I give, my all. Why? Because I appreciate this. So yeah, being caring is definitely key. Um, Marcus says trust. Yeah, I agree. All right. Got 9 minutes left. Let's make this do what they do, as they say. Next one, it would say is determine your audience. Who are you talking to? That is very key. And your audience is not everybody. I made this mistake for years. I said, "Oh, I can work with anybody." That's not true. I have an audience, and I wasted so much time talking to everybody. But when I identified a small segment of people that are my audience, my business grew. So now I help minority and Black entrepreneurs grow their companies and be more profitable by using digital marketing. That's it. That's what I do. And I make way more money than I used to do when I targeted everybody. So knowing your audience is so key, because when you know your audience, you're going to know what to say. You're going to know what to talk about. So quickly, in just one word, type in who your audience in your comment box. Type in who your audience in the comments box. And while I do that, I'll read back some of the comments. Um, so I think it says Tanya. It says, so true. I deal with the opposite constantly at work and try my best not to be that way with others. Yeah, definitely. Um, let's see. Someone says, so key. Going beyond customer service and towards building relationships can literally be the highest and most rewarding different. Yeah, I agree. Being nice just stands out. Kimberly says niche marketing. Okay, that's great. Another comment here says professional Black females 35 to 45. Okay, that's good. So, yeah, definitely take the time to identify what is your audience. And you can have more than one audience, but I'm telling you, we spend so much time chasing the wrong people. So, quick story for myself, I move on. For years, I chased you all. I chased my attendees, trying to sell websites to you and design for you in consultation. And then one day, a few years ago, I changed my market. My market now is not you. I target companies and nonprofits that have membership bases that needs to learn digital marketing. Once I made that slight switch, things just change. So once again, you can be struggling. Why? Because you're targeting the wrong market. Somebody here says DoD prime contractors. Yeah, that's a great on the target. And with that, you know the language. That's the thing I realized. Once you know who you're targeting, you know the language you used. The language that connects with them is going to make them say, oh, that person gets it. So then with contracts, you know about past performance, NICS codes, all that stuff. You speak their language. So once again, that stands out to them. Another one says small businesses that focus on audiences within the African diaspora. That's great. One more says individual mental health illnesses, ages 7 to 70. Okay. Comment here says audience is anyone you interact with. Yeah, I agree, but still, you want to identify who's your target, because that way you know what kind of content to create. You know how to speak their language. Once again, you want to talk to your grandma the way you might talk to your best friend. It's different. So you have to change the way you talk depending on who you're talking to. Someone else says busy entrepreneurs, especially women. Great. Awesome. Thanks for those comments. Moving on to the next step. Hold on. Hold on. All right. One more check in. So if I'm doing a great job, type in 5. If I'm doing a bad job, I need to retire, hang it up, type in 0. So if I'm doing a great job, give me a 5. If I'm doing a terrible job, give me a 0. See a 5. Appreciate that. 5, 5, 5. 5. More fives. Thank you. Thank you. 6 plus 1 for the jacket. Thank you, Karen. Appreciate that. First time wearing this jacket, I was a little nervous. I was like, polka dot. That's pushing it. But thanks for the positive positive feedback. Willie says 4 because you didn't answer my question. Uh, what was your question? Type it again. I'll be sure to answer it. Somebody else says, didn't know this wasn't on YouTube, like the Eventbrite piece sent. I'm not sure what you're saying, but yeah, this is actually on YouTube as well. Just go to US Black Chambers YouTube page and you'll see us. Marcus, I see you, man. I'll drop the link to the jacket in the chat box. But no, I use the company called Paisley and Gray. Paisley and Gray. They sell different type of jackets, different patterns. I get a lot of my jackets from them. All right, great. Let's get back. Let's round things out. We got about 4 minutes left. Actually, we're a little bit over time here, so I'll wrap things up. But thank you for being patient and holding on. Let's go to the next slide. So next one we talked about already is optimize your personal website and social media profile. So we've been talking about this all class and also in prior webinars. Um, Once again, go to GoDaddy and buy your domain name and buy that. And soon after that, create a personal website for yourself. That's the first step. Next thing, social media is key. Being active on LinkedIn, active on Facebook. And once again, you want to be on the networks that your customers, that your audience is on. But you definitely want to be on LinkedIn and I'll say Facebook, definitely. But once again, you can use those profiles to brand yourself. So if you were to go to my LinkedIn page or Instagram page, you see me in suits, once again, talking about digital marketing. So optimizing your digital presence is so key because in this digital world, that's the first interaction people are going to have with you. And you want that to be a positive interaction. So make sure that you are optimizing your profiles. Willie, I got you, man. I didn't forget about you. It says, how do I utilize this concept? I'm trying to create and sell to a foreign country. For example, um, what are you trying to sell, Willie? It really depends what you're trying to sell. We're running out of time here. So once again, if you send me email, I can answer that question better. My email again is s@sterlingmckilling.com. Once again, that's s@sterlingmckilling.com. Send me your question there and I'll try to answer it, but it really depends on what you're trying to sell. Tell me that and I can give you more information. One more question here. It says, I want to engage more personally outside my company page. Should I use my personal page or create a page under the name I'm using that for? I'm not using my company name and my business is global. Yeah, Karen, great question. Yeah, you should have a company page and have a separate personal page. You should always do that because once again, it go back to what I said. People are not necessarily buying from truthfully, in my opinion, there's no such thing as a business to business company. You are always dealing with people. So once again, the more you can see human, the better. So definitely I would invest in having a separate personal page where you're talking about what you do, where you're showing what you do every day. Once again, that's going to really add to your personal brand, having that separate personal page. Yeah, Willie, send me an email. I agree. I talk fast. I'm sorry. Tonight I was excited. I was preaching. So if you want to, you can watch this webinar again. Slow it down some. You can hear me. But I'll talk a little slower for you. So thank you for that. Um, one more question. We're gonna wrap this thing up. There are so many simple ways you can optimize your digital presence with SEO too. Thanks for Google and social media. Yeah, no problem. Okay, moving on to our next step 4 is develop your content strategy. And I think that once again, it goes back to knowing your audience. So myself, I do a lot of video like this, me talking to my audience about what I do. So Think about that. Is that sharing text, pictures, infographics? Do you write that, sharing articles? Think about how do you use content to transfer your knowledge to your customers. So think about that. Um, Video is always great. Text is always great. If you don't know, look at other people that are influential in your industry, and you can find out um, what they are sharing and take some tips from them on what kind of content you should share. Nick says, "Do you encourage branding on your personal page?" Yeah, I agree. I would do that. And truthfully, I'm on social media because the money's there. My money and my son. That's what I post. But once again, social media, use social media, don't use you. So I'm on social media. Why? Because my customers are there. So I get personal, but I'm not talking about what I have for lunch or taking pictures of me working out. No, I'm very intentional about what I post. So definitely keep doing that. Kimberly, thank you. Great webinar. Thank you for staying a little late. And I'm gonna wrap up our next step here. I think we got one more step. Step 6 is build a community. Yeah, that goes back to knowing your audience and knowing your niche. This tonight is a community. We're all here. We're small business owners and we're learning how to build our business. So having a community is very key. So once again, those are the 6 steps um, to how to build a brand. Um, I would say in closing, once again, the review personal branding is so key. It is the ultimate hack for your business and your brand. Um, Also tonight, if you want to learn more about digital marketing or anything, visit the U.S. Chambers website, which is uschambers.org/webinars for lists of more webinars and trainings. Also, if I talk too fast, Willie, I'm sorry. If I skip something, if you miss something, if you're on YouTube, LinkedIn, or Facebook, you can rewatch this webinar after it's over and learn more about it, or you can watch past webinars and learn more as well. So, once again, this is all being recorded. So, if you miss anything, you always have a chance to watch it again. So, saying that, thank you. We went long tonight. I got a little passionate tonight, but I love branding, and I want to see everybody win. At the end of the day, I want to see everybody win. And the cool thing about a lot of what I said, a lot of it was free. You can do so many things free online by using Google and other services to brand your company and to get more sales for your business. So, saying that, we'll be back again on Thursday at 5 p.m. We're going to get a little more deeper into personal branding. If you want to, drop your LinkedIn URL in the comment box or send me an email as well. And live on our next webinar, I will review and audit your personal branding. So thank you for joining us. Take care. And if you haven't yet, go to GoDaddy and buy your name as a domain name. Have a good night. Bye.